news from Knit Happens Teesside for the 23rd week of 2024. Well, it was a great night on Thursday because we had a full house. So Fee was back from France and Andy was back from Scotland. Fee was working on a shawl that she was making using the Fibonacci sequence. I said it right because I kept saying Fibonacci. It's based on a Stephen West shawl. And she did explain it to me, and I know it's to make an arch, but I don't think it's absolutely dissimilar to a pie shawl, which is the calculations of how many increases to do over how many rows to make something an actual circle. So it's an arch instead, isn't it? Anyway, so I looked up the pie sequence. Well, I looked up both. I looked Fibonacci up to see how you pronounce it, and I looked pi up to see what came up for that. And that's what came up for pi. Which doesn't make much sense to anybody, but I did make a pie shawl once and it was fine. But somebody else, I suppose, did all the calculations. Anyhow, she was making this beautiful shawl with just bits and bobs that she had around. And they all are beautiful, and it's lovely soft pinks and browns. It's really nice colours, as you can see. So it's kind of like an arch shape. Fee's shawl is, as you can see on the photographs, being knitted on 3 circular needles at the same time, in typical Fee fashion. I did ask why she didn't get a long one, but I think she's got the long, you know, the long cord, but not the ends that are the right size to put on it, so she needs the end bits. Jill was making yet another top, because she's finished yet another top, and so the pink one's finished and she's in the process of sewing that together. And the one that she's making now was some unbanded wool, all rolled into tight balls, and it looks kind of, it's got a sheen, so it may be sort of tencel or silk. I think it's probably a silk. Beautiful colour. And she's making the Vintage Lace Tee by Pat Strong. At some point during the evening, the conversation did take a little bit of a downward turn. And to change the subject, Helen said, "Does everybody want to see my pansy?" Which was rather funny. So Helen was making pansies and flowers to embellish her spring garden blanket that's, well, I'm not quite sure if anybody will know when it's finished, or if Helen will know when it's finished, or when it's going to be finished, because it looks finished. But she's still embellishing it, so we'll see. Andy was making one of those tubular cowls. It's you know, it's a knitted tube, but that tube becomes a tube, so it's a tubular tube, and it's Fair Isle. She's knitting it with drops merino, baby merino, in lovely colours. The pattern is Autumn Cheer by Jodie Hobbs. Today, oh that's heavy, I am drinking dandelion tea, and I make it in this. It's got a lid that comes off and you put your bits and bobs in it, and then you don't get too many bits and bobs in your drink. It's quite nice dandelion tea. I don't think it's not dandelion root. It must be dandelion leaf because it's all green and it's in a big. It's in a clear packet. It looks a bit dodgy. I think it's still too hot. That's the blackbird singing, and we've had very noisy sparrows, and we've got goldfinches, baby goldfinches in the garden because our garden's got the most cover. I was knitting on Collecting Breeze by Shinobu Sasaki, which is not a name I'm ever probably going to remember. Well, actually I could do if I tried hard enough. It's always good to try to remember things, isn't it? Now, politically incorrect knitters are doing their sweaty sweater challenge. And I don't think, unless this, well, it won't be finished. Well, I don't think it will. I don't, well, it might be finished before the end of June. I have one sleeve and the other sleeve's nearly ready for a cuff. So it's just going round and round. It's much nicer in the flesh. I don't think the colours look very good on the screen. Not bad, but it's sort of, it picks out the lights too much and it's more subdued than it looks on the screen. So I only have to do the cuff and then I'll be picking up for the mohair sort of skirty bit round the hem and up the sides. Now that's a very noisy sparrow. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Make a lot of noise for a very, very small bird, like that big. Right, what's next? I am wearing another version of the Ugly Cats shawl. So this is the Tunisian crocheted version. Made by Neil from Blocked magazine, who just happened to come to our house last weekend, and we took some photographs of shawls and me. And I'm going to be on the next cover of Blocked magazine. It's good, isn't it? I'm quite excited about that. So we had a lot of fun on the beach, in the wind and the sun, and had the perfect weather for it. In fact, we've not had a more perfect day before or since this year. So this shawl's about the right size. It's nice, isn't it? What I really like about this one is the drape. It's sort of completely different than something knitted. It's got more flop. Could imagine if you made it with something with a linen or, you know, a more floppy yarn. Not flop, drape. It's got loads of flop. And it's quite drapey. But yeah, it's nice, isn't it? So now I've got a little basket. I got a few things out to show to Neil. Some of my shawls and some of my more complicated knits that I've achieved, and decided to put my shawls in a basket downstairs so I can just grab one when I need one, indoors or outdoors. So the best thing about Thursday was that everybody was there and we did have a laugh, and we were all really pleased for us all to be together again. Because quite often we're not all there. Mostly not all there. So we took a photograph, which is a big treat, isn't it? For us and for you, because now you're going to see everybody, and I wonder if you can put names to faces. On the picture, My shawl's behind us all, and naturally if we'd have pulled it a little bit further we might have got it right to the end and round both ends. I had a little adventure on the beach last night, so I'm going to show you that. And I've been round the garden, and it's a little bit of an update because it's changed since last time I put it on. So you might want to look at that, or it might be interesting or it might not. Idiot on the beach with a rope with a ball on the end of it. Threw it, and well, the tide's gone out since a little bit, but not enough, so we're just lingering on the beach because the ball's there somewhere between the two rocks and a bit further back. And it goes out quick, so we're just waiting to see if we can find it, because the dogs might find that fun. When you're bored, 10 minutes more and we'll find it. We'll be able to get it in 10 minutes. It's got a yellow rope on it. There it is. It's not far now. I'm going to get this. Woo, it's very cold. Ah! Come back. Yay! Woo, woo, woo. Parsley's going to seed. That one needs a bigger pot. Let's go with that one. Plum gets attacked every year, but I think it's recovering. Something, I don't know, something upsets it every year. What have we got here? An Acer. So the hydrangea, it's a bit of a beast. It's grown about 3 metres one way and 3 metres the other way at least. And my fence is right back there. So when it's finished doing its lovely flowering, I'm going to cut it back a bit. And it needs to come back from this Acer because it's quite tall. This is lethal, this little rose. But that's done the same. So, down my path. I'm just clearing back some space for cosmos. Emily's cosmos. This is Equinox, gets big sculptural balls on it. Aquilegia's the purple. Nellie Moses, this one, which is lovely, isn't it? It does go right up the arch and into the apple tree. This is the apple tree. Oh yeah, and up this, which is for me sweet peas, which aren't that great yet. What I didn't know, some little girl on Gardener's World said, if you pull these off, you get a stronger plant. So under there we've got Equinox, and this is the apple tree. It's quite good. We like our jasmine. I know you've seen it before, but things change, don't they? Dog rose. Gorgeous smell. Got a foxglove. Tatties need filling up. That's lily. There's loads of violets, so I tend to pull them out to make space. That looks like a crocosmia, but it might be a special one. This long leaf, that crocosmia. And this one's another lily, and it looks like it's got a beetle. Have to find out whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. There's a rude name for this tree. Can't think of the name I've been using. This definitely needs a bigger stick. I'm going to do that now. Emily's good at planting seeds and transplanting seeds and looking after them. I'm good at watering and maintaining and clearing space. That's a completely different jasmine. It's grown really high. That's Harlow Car, which is a David Austin rose. Marigold. Oh, they're the same thing. We've got some French marigolds as well to keep the bugs off. I got some chamomile, so I've planted it in the cracks, which would be nice when you walk on it. So they're ready to go out. I've cleared her a bit of space, hopefully it's enough. Look, that's hiding under the... How gorgeous is that? That's absolutely gorgeous. If I can find the card. It smells gorgeous as well. That's an Acer. And the box. Acer. Acer in a box with a jasmine through the middle of it, which probably needs tying up. So we have this piece of driftwood, and at this end there's a wisteria. And I think it gets pecked, so it's... Oh, we've got a bud on the wisteria. That's a bud. Might get a purple flower. But I think the pigeons sit on the beam and peck it and kill it. What's going on here? Seeds being planted. Dahlia. Ooh.
I did that one by accident.
Have you planted them though?
Yeah.
Cosmos and stocks. And is that Cosmos that's going in over there?
Well, I just have excess.
She's got excess Cosmos. Because it's a favourite. One of our favourites. Oh, and look, the lily's got a flower coming on it. So that'll be good to show you because they're huge. This had too many leaves over the top of it, but it's looking really pretty now. I've cleared some things out of the way. This is a geranium. I don't think that's the same plant as that though. That's more of a campanula, I think. Not too much happening in here. This one's struggling to make a flower even though it's got no leaves. We thought it was dead and it's returned. Spidey lives in this hole here, and these are his cactus plants. That opens right up. It must take some sun to do so. I think that's Livingston daisy, or what's the succulent one called?
Miss Embryantha then?
Mesembryanthemum. Mesembryanthemum. This is the remainder of my advent calendar seed tray, which is a bit sort of... They should have all been marked a bit better. That's growing in an ounce of soil and I don't know quite what it is. Tomatoes. Yeah, does it need feeding? That's that mother of millions. It got really big. Now it's looking a bit sad. So across the edges of the leaves you get new plants. It's more of a house plant, but I've put it out here for the summer. That's a lilac. If it takes, I'm going to give it to a friend. And these are sea holly that I'm giving to a friend. Actually, you know the name of the friend because it's Helen. Just need to water it because it's on the droop already. Currants getting bigger. Lettuce getting bigger. We've been eating the lettuce. French marigolds look nice. They're supposed to keep the bugs off. One of your lilies, Emily, has got a red lily bug on it. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. So this blossom's finished and now this one's in full blossom instead. And here's the chef gathering sage for the dinner. You're on film. More French marigolds interspersed with lettuce and, well, radishes, peas, some sort of onion over there, but absolutely honk to me, onions these days. Here's another beautiful rose. They do look nice on the film, don't they? A very delicate smell. This is fennel, which has been left to go crazy, but I kind of like it because it's pretty. And this rambling rose has got lots of buds on, so it goes along there and it meets it's actually right along the wall past the eucalyptus, and it meets the red rose and it's coming through the back of the greenhouse. That canopy there is a clematis that's been planted years and years ago. It's got, oh, it's a honeysuckle. I'm wrong, it's a honeysuckle with white flowers on it. We have all sorts of buds and blue sky. You've got nettles? Oh, that should stop you having hay fever if you get nettled, apparently. I'm not quite sure how right that is, but I get nettled every year and I don't get hay fever, so give it a try. I heard it on the radio. Pardon? Elvis isn't dead. I heard it on the radio. These are solar lights that just happen to look like eucalyptus, so I've put them in my eucalyptus. As you do. As for the pond, this is a very long video. It might have to be chopped up a bit or not used at all. You can't see any fish. I've come up with an idea, Emily. Because we can't see the fish, should we buy some fish that you can see? They've got some nice metallic ones. So that's a little acer. I've planted it in the soil rather than it being in a pot. What's in the pot? A friend gives me plants. Oh, this is one of my pond tools. A friend gives me plants and then she tells me all the names of them and when I get home I can remember about 3. So I'll quickly write them on a card so that I can remember them for longer. I quite like this little corner. We've got sea pinks, we've got a pink foxglove, and this plant has survived from last year, which is good. I'm not sure if the jasmine's pink as well. That would be nice, wouldn't it? All pinks. The Christmas tree's doing well. All the pale leaves are new, so it's kind of happy. We use chicken poop on our plants, and if you put it around the top of your pots, the worms will just drag it down. They love it. So this, I couldn't, oh, it's not a holly. See, she told me what that was. Berberis, which I would have forgotten. And I have a red one also of my friend Sylvie. This is out on my advent calendar, poached eggplant. These are weeds. Mostly gone. This is a very sad rose that's sad every year. Don't know what to do about that. Yeah, goldfinches, baby goldfinches in the tree. Be lucky to spot one. Twittering at each other. Do you think the nest was in our garden? I bet it was. This is a a cherry. Oh no, it's, well, that one wasn't. It's fell off. These just fall off. There we go. The garden and things happening. So, I think that's about it. More news, maybe, next week.